Hello, everyone. It is Friday night. It is 8 p.m. We are not in the back of my car. We are at our respective homes and we are previewing what is hopefully going to be the magic of the FA Cup. John, have you had any second thoughts on what we said on Tuesday night, 15 minutes after the final whistle?
Good evening, Ashley. Not really. Maybe we were a little bit too kind on Abraham Oddo. Other than that, it was pretty poor, wasn't it? Nothing's really changed my mind. It was a disappointing display, and hopefully we will see better tomorrow.
Yeah, fingers crossed. You know what? I sent in our group earlier, didn't I? I actually got really annoyed at us not progressing in the competition, because if you look at who we could have faced, Wimbledon, Bristol Rovers, Luton, Cobblers, Plymouth, Walsall, or Colchester / West Ham of the 21s, that would have been a real chance to have progressed into the final eight, and we've thrown it away. Remember that it's regionalised the Virtue Trophy until the semi-finals. I'm not checked who's in the north, but pretty sure Bolton are probably the biggest team left in the competition. And it's just disappointing that it kind of felt like we went out without really much of an effort. And I just hope that going into tomorrow, the players actually do understand. Like the carrot's there for the players, isn't it? Like there's a massive opportunity for them for a big away day, or to bring a massive club down to London Road and give them a real good go and show themselves what they're all about. But where do we start, I suppose, John? What do you want to see from tomorrow?
Well, am I that bothered about the FA Cup? No, if I'm being brutally honest, it's not. It's nice, but even when we have the big draws like Everton away, it got moved to a Thursday night. We barely had a shot there. It wasn't really exciting, and we've never really come close to a major upset. The best we've done, that I can remember, is beating Aston Villa. So I'm not like, oh, we've got to win, but on the back of 3 defeats, it would be nice to see a performance that we can at least get infused about again, because the biggest issue for me over the last 3 games is it's just felt like Darren Ferguson's been back in charge. It's not really looked like there's been a massive change. And we looked so good for the opening 2 weeks of Williams' tenure that I just want to get back to being a little bit more positive about what I'm watching again. So a bit more urgency, a bit less lethargy, a bit more ambition in possession would be nice. And those are the key things. And if we go down, at least let's go down swinging. Like you said, it felt like we went out of a whimper in midweek. So let's make up for it and try and get the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I should clarify one thing before we bring in our first guest. It appears that Barnsley have absolutely no fans that are interested in previewing their football team in the FA Cup. Multiple tweets I sent out, multiple DMs, and not a single nibble on the carrot. So we have got a bit of a different episode tonight. First up, we're going to bring in Levi. I'll bring him in a second. And then secondly, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, if you are watching on YouTube or Twitter at the moment, we've partnered up with the Posh Foundation. I've got Abby and Emily waiting in the wings to tell us all about the fantastic work that they do for Peterborough United and the foundation. But before we bring those two in, let's bring in Levi, a man that needs no introduction to, well, what should I say, rattling people. Levi, how are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you. How are you both?
I am all good, thank you.
Good stuff.
Where shall we start? Shall we? Let's start with Darren Ferguson. You've been very vocal, haven't you? And
yep.
You didn't think the change was right. Do you want to talk me through that?
Yeah, I mean, lots of reasons. I mean, fundamentally, I have this view that I've held for quite a long time now, which is that football managers should very rarely be sacked mid-season, particularly not at the start of the season. I believe that in all football. Like, don't get me wrong, there are certainly examples where it is necessary, and I get that. But I don't like football culture generally, how it sort of moved to pinpoint everything on a manager, and the manager's got to go, and the fans start turning on the manager. All that's quite nonsensical to me. So that's a kind of wider point with football generally. With Peterborough Posh specifically, Ferguson's obviously a club legend. I understand very few people disagree with that. I felt he was due even more time. I know people will argue that he got more time and last season wasn't great. I don't really buy all of that. I think I think my wider issue is that I just think that football fans and Posh fans are an example of this at the moment. Just sometimes just can't get to grips with the fact that sometimes the team isn't very good, and that's just the way it is. And it doesn't have to be a full guy, and the manager doesn't have to be shit and this and that and that. Sometimes the team aren't very good. Sometimes the players aren't very good. That's where Posh are right now. We aren't as good as we were a few years ago, or 2 years ago and beyond. So that's kind of my point. Thought Ferguson was due a lot more loyalty than he got as well.
Well, that's kind of answered the next question that I was going to pose to you, is whether you thought that, obviously you said that you don't really believe in sacking a manager or moving a manager on out of season. Are you confident that we made the right decision keeping Fergie through the summer just gone, and that actually maybe that was the natural sort of break in the chain? Is that something that, in hindsight, of course, hindsight is a very easy thing to make an opinion on, isn't it?
Of course, like I definitely hold the view that Ferguson's a pretty established League One manager. Do I think Darren Ferguson is the greatest manager that we in the world? No, that's why he's managing Posh. If he was brilliant, he wouldn't be managing Posh, right? That's reality. But no, I think there's no one better for the club than Ferguson. I really believe that he's proven over time. I don't really want to get into Darren, but clearly Darren can work with him better than anybody else. We're currently in the early stages of Williams, but let's see if the conclusion at some point is the same as it has been for every manager he's not called Darren Ferguson over the last 15 years. I think, Ferguson did a great job a couple of years ago. The club have made so much money in player sales from players he has helped to develop and bring on. And ultimately, we didn't replace them very well. And I'm okay with that. I'm kind of just okay with that. I don't, I see a lot of fans, the players, and it's like we're just not very good. It's fine. Like, it's that's just how I feel about it. It's genuinely how I feel about it. It's like, just accept it. We're just not as good as we were. That's life. We're not always going to be good, are we?
You're definitely more tolerant than me, Levi. I want to pick you up on something you said, which was, I think we should have shown more patience with Ferguson. I wonder what would have been the cutoff theoretically, because we obviously went from 4th to 18th to 24th, and that was kind of the cutoff. Now that is I think most Posh fans would argue that Fergie had too long, that he should have gone sooner. I think by the time he went, the majority of Peterborough fans, certainly vocally, wanted him gone. So I'm intrigued. Would you have gone down with Fergie? I'm not saying he would have taken us down for sure, but
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have taken us down. He wouldn't have taken us down. No. I mean, I'm pretty sure when that the podcast you did with Ferguson got sacked, you said yourself the team we had for the first 6-7 games of the season was genuinely horrendous. I'm pretty sure you said no manager in the world could have done much about it. Like, so that's separate in my mind. The team was genuinely like not even. It was barely League Two level. It was that bad. Since then, I think our position of form table when Ferguson left was 13th. We had, you can argue performances. We had one. What was it? 4 of our last 8, 4 of our last 7. So I can't remember now. One of those two. So look, the team was terrible August and the start of September. We'd shown a lot of improvement in results for sure from nothing. Clearly, that's an improvement. To answer your question specifically, I'd have given him the whole season. No doubt about it. Wouldn't have crossed my mind to sack him before the season finished.
Do you therefore not attribute any blame on Ferguson for the squad that we assembled over the summer? Because if you listen to Dara, it was Fergie that wanted to keep hold of some of those players that we think are rubbish, and it wasn't necessarily Dara. So where do you put the blame on for going
I tend not to listen to Dara, but but having said that, I'm not an idiot. Is Ferguson blameless in the whole thing? Of course he's not. Like, he's a manager of a football club. Like, he's not absolved from all responsibility. Like, that would be ridiculous. Of course he would have had his say in things. Of course he would have been a part of wrong decisions. But the fundamental is this: we had a really, really good team that he was doing a really, really good job with. They all left and they haven't been replaced very well. Now, you can say that's purely Dara's fault or combination of the transfer committee's fault. It doesn't really matter, but No, yeah, of course he's not 100% blameless, but I think he was doing an okay job with a not very good team. Like we aren't very good. Like it really bores me. Does every week like the same players. Like he's playing shit. Yeah, he's shit every week. Like what? Why do you keep watching games thinking, oh, this week Odo won't be shit? He's literally been shit for 2 years. So we just stop saying he's shit. It's just a boring thing to keep saying, in my opinion. It's just a really boring thing to keep saying.
So Levi, obviously you said that Fergie, we accept as well that the first 6 or 7 games were poor under Darren Ferguson, but that was a poor squad as well.
Yeah.
Did you not have like the warning signs that actually he had that 2-week break before Burton and it was absolutely diabolical? Was that not a red flag to you? Do you think that he had the chance to improve with all of these fantastic players that we've got and we brought in that are mid-table League One, I would say, at the moment? Do you not think that was... So we're told. We've seen flashes. I think
So like, they're not very good. Like, no, there's not a single attacking player. Like Morgan, like somehow, like he's some great, like living off 3 tap-ins in his first 2 weeks. Like honestly, what's he done since? Nothing. Leonard didn't score a goal under Ferguson. Like Ferguson, he doesn't put the ball back in the net himself, does he? Like I know he scored a couple since, but I'm pretty sure, John. You tweet on deadline day. If this man doesn't score goals, we'll get relegated. We didn't score any goals, so how are we supposed to win games? Like
Well, he's got 4 since.
Well, he has got. It happens now. He scored a few. He scored a penalty and he scored a tap in. Yeah, I get it.
So
but
is that nothing to do with Ferguson's defensive tactics, where he looked like a one-man island up front? Is that not part of the reason that he's scoring goals because he's getting a few
one-man
more
island? We were playing 2 up front at times. How many shots did we have v Blackpool? 27. How many do you have v Wimbledon? 11. What was happening there? Why do we have 2.5 less times more shots against Blackpool when it was such a weak defensive, boring Ferguson performance, and Williams' ball was just this free-flowing?
Levi, you need to look at the XG. I believe the XG against there was a lot of long shots and block shots against Blackpool. There wasn't a huge amount of great.
I saw the goals v Wimbledon. They genuinely were some of the worst pieces of defending I've ever seen in my life. They were gifted, like literally gifted. 4 of those 5 goals were gifts. So of course the XG is high. If you get gifted goals, the XG is high. That's how it works, isn't it? It's not like we didn't cut them open for like free flowing big chances all over the shop. Like there's one header backwards, a penalty, missed kick clearance. Like, come on.
So have you not seen any improvement under Williams then? Is that your line? Are we saying that it's not improved?
Look, we won the first 4 games. Of course, that's an improvement. Like, there's no point disagreeing with facts, right? Like that clearly there was a little bit of an improvement. New manager bounce potentially. I'm not sure, but yeah, you said yourself then at the start of the programme that we've reverted back to Darren Ferguson football. Well, maybe it's just the quality of the players aren't that good, and that's why we're playing Darren Ferguson football, whatever that means. Like Darren Ferguson's been an unbelievably attacking Posh manager for like 20 years, but now it's Darren Ferguson football when the players are just doing what they've been doing all season under a different manager. Maybe it's the players, not the manager there.
So Levi, you don't think that there's at least 8 mid to top end League One players? Then is that what you're saying in this squad? Because I think there is. I think maybe we just aren't seeing it as consistently as we possibly should.
Look,
but
I think 8. I'm not sure. There's a serious problem. Is the attacking players are really bad. That's the problem. That is the crux of the issue. Like the goalkeeper is definitely good enough. The centre backs are definitely pretty decent. Collins, we know decent. Garbutt, we know decent. So yes, you can make a case. There's 8 mid-table League One players there for sure. But the forwards are they range from mediocre to terrible. There's that like Leonard, I could put him as mediocre, and the Hayes mediocre, but he's been injured. Not seen enough for it, but again, Ferguson had an injured Frith, didn't he? So that's not what was supposed to do with him.
So let's talk about tomorrow, and let's think about first and foremost. Are you bothered if Posh progress in the FA Cup, Levi? Is it a competition that you're worried about, or are you thinking right now the only priority should be League One football and the FA Cup would just be a distraction?
No, I love the FA Cup. I mean, I'm very sort of indifferent to Posh at the moment. Like, clear, I'm aware that I've taken this sacking worse than the average Posh fan, which has given me a sort of sense of indifference to most results at the moment. But in principle, FA Cup should never be chucked away. That is definitely what I think. That's a great competition. which has had some great days out. Yes, ultimately, lots of disappointment, but it's not even about what does happen. It's the hope of what might happen. You know, that is all the joy of the FA Cup. So if Posh don't take that competition seriously, I will be very disappointed because I think they should be doing that.
Right, I'm just going to go to the comments because Fleetwood Sack has dropped one in that I thought was quite telling. Is there any truth in that statement that you love watching Posh lose?
I don't love watching Posh lose. I'm quite indifferent to their results at the moment, I have to say. I I genuinely am very, very frustrated with with the sacking decision, with the fans generally. I went I went to the last game I went to against Burton, right? I thought the fans that day were pathetic. That is my honest opinion, and I left the game thinking, do you know what? If this has got what supporting Peterborough, where we're not so good, is all about, I'm not that interested in going. That's honestly how I felt. I go to watch Peterborough. Genuinely, if anyone's ever seen me in a stadium, I just support the team. I've got no interest in booing and abusing. Like, I know I talk some shit on Twitter. I'm well aware of that. But like, if I go to the game, I'm there to support the team. And being in a stadium of people just constant misery and negativity and shouting at players and singing stupid songs, I just thought, I can't bother with this. So you know what? Like these fans have hounded them out and singing these stupid songs, and then say, "Oh, look at me! I go to the games and support them." Oh, I'm just disinterested in them all at the moment, to be honest with you. So I'm indifferent.
Okay, so we're not. You're bothered about the FA Cup. We'll discuss that in the future as well. Sure, just me and John will. But what do you think that this squad needs to make it a good squad? How many ins and outs?
I was listing your shit down, Ferguson. What do you mean by good? What, is it a promotion League One
Uh,
squad?
at the moment, all I'm bothered about is what 20th place. What does this squad need to
Well,
get 20th place?
if we're going to play with wingers, we need at least one more winger. At least, let's
What
assume that Frith's going to be good.
What about how far off a top 6 squad do you think it is that Dara said?
Absolutely miles off. Absolutely miles off.
How many players?
It needs. Look, let's say that Frith might be a really good League One winger. I haven't seen enough, but other than that, the entire forward line, that for sure. Look, Leonard. Given time, like I haven't seen enough Leonard to make a strong judgment on that one. We know Lindgren's nowhere near, obviously. So yeah, the wingers for sure. Kyoso looks nothing like he was back in 2 years ago. He looks like a bit of a downgrade, to be honest. Yeah, centre backs decent-ish, but again, like we had with Edwards and Knight, like I don't want to get into Edwards again, but like they were Edwards and Knight as a partnership is a clear upgrade on what we got now. Like it just upgrades all over the pitch. So we're miles off. I was top 6 squad.
So you would say that if you could, obviously this is all very much like Football Manager or FIFA, isn't it? But you think that there's like 8 or 9 changes needed to even get this squad close to top 6, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, and then Collins probably. Well, we know he's played in the top 6 squad before, but he's going to be going into the year. So look, it could get worse. I think it could get worse. Like Garbutt is probably certainly the most sort of gifted footballer we've got at the moment. 2-year deal, I think he's got. So I assume there's a chance he goes in the summer as well. So 3 years, is it 3 years? So, well, we'll see what happens to Garbutt. But like he looks to be at his best. He looks like he's playing below his level, but he's not that consistent. But yeah, like in general, like I'm like look up Posh and go, oh, look, it's a couple of tweaks and we'll be flying to a top 6. Like come on, like nowhere near.
But okay, so let's ignore the last 3 games where we've not looked great. Did you not watch those first 4 under Williams? I think actually maybe he has got the right recipe here. If that we went back to scoring goals, didn't we? Obviously ignoring Cardiff as well, but
well, look, I didn't see a Stockport game. I was on holiday at the time, so I didn't watch that game at all. Wimbledon, look, like I said to you, that result flattered us. Like that, I'm not saying we didn't deserve to win the game. Yeah, we deserved to win the game. Yeah, it was a decent-ish performance. Did we deserve 5-0? Like that is a bit of a yeah. It definitely didn't reflect the performance. I don't think. FA Cup beat Cardiff. I don't really know how motivated they were or not. I didn't watch that game either, to be honest with you, so I can't really put too much judgment on it. But Then yes, ignore the next 3 games. Let's not ignore the next 3 games. Let's think about the season, and the last 3 games are quite reflective of what's happened over the course of the season. Those games beforehand aren't that reflective, are they? Yes, some good results. We beat Stockport reserves. And I know people like to say we beat top of the league, but it was Stockport reserves. So let's not get too excited by those games. But I don't know. Look, I haven't got anything against Luke Williams personally. I really don't. Like, I haven't got an issue with him at all. I've no idea if he'll be a good manager for Posh or not. I certainly don't want to watch anything that resembles Russell Martin type football. But look, he seems like a nice guy. He seems like he wants to play attacking football. So I'm not against him personally.
Right. The next question is a two-parter, Levi. One is, are Posh getting relegated under Luke Williams? And number 2 is, what is your score prediction and first scorer for tomorrow?
No, we won't get relegated. We were never going to get relegated as soon as we signed this players on deadline day. And prediction tomorrow will be 1-1, and we will lose on penalties. And first goal scorer, I don't know, Barnsley player, Sassy Posh. I can't remember off the top of my head. Leonard, why not? He seems to scores goals now.
Right. I'm just going to pull up a quick comment from Fleetwood Zach. Again, 2 good comments from Fleetwood Zach. What are your thoughts on that? You don't think we forced Wimbledon to the mistakes? Obviously, they came with a game plan, didn't they, to play the low block?
I don't think that's a good comment. No.
No?
Well, no. One of the players just pulled someone off the ball. That's a penalty. That's forced into a mistake. Not really. One headed him back. No, it's just rubbish defending. One sliced the clearance. No, that's just rubbish defending. No.
But it's pressure, isn't it? It's a consistent build-up of pressure that leads to the end result. I don't think
that's kind of like suggesting that like we were Man City just pinging it around us, then tie them out. No, we chucked the ball into the box, and defenders tried to clear it and whacked it backwards, and someone tapped in. That's nothing to do with pressure. That's just mistakes.
I'm not sure I agree. The big difference is that we were getting the ball in the box, though. That's the difference that I saw in that game from Luke Williams versus Fergie. Fergie was very much pass around, and then all of a sudden we've lost the ball. Do you not think? Can you not see that? That's the way that I see it. Is that there was a clear, different impetus of let's just get the ball down, get it into the box, and force these mistakes. That's the thing. Is I know that you're saying that it was bad defending, but at some point you've got to give credit to the team, surely, or the manager, one of the two, for being in a position where you force those mistakes. No?
Well, I'll give credit to the team for putting the ball in the net 5 times and conceding no goals like that. Like, of course, you won the game 5-0. Credit to the team. Like, but I'm not going to pretend that was just like some incredible blown away performance that was then ball Posh of old. Like, it wasn't. The goals weren't. It just wasn't. Like, it just, we scored half the goals, half the shots we had in the match we scored pretty much. And yeah, they were all tap ins and they were all gifted. Like, we did not blow them away with some unbelievable performance. Like, it's just nonsense.
I've got one more question for you, Levi.
Yeah.
Which is, who do you, obviously we'll never be able to prove this, but who do you believe Posh would have finished higher this league season under, Luke Williams or Darren Ferguson?
My genuine honest view on this is about the same. I genuinely believe that. I don't believe that manager
Get off the fence.
No, seriously, I think we'll finish about 18th, and I think we would have under even manager. I think we were destined for relegation, and then we signed some decent players, and now we've got enough. And we might have finished 15th, 16th. It doesn't matter, does it? Like I think we would have had enough either way. Ultimately, I've got no idea. It's just me. I want to say Ferguson. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Like, I genuinely don't think Luke Williams will have as high as Ferguson. I don't think. I just think it's not for me. It's not about the principle of who's the better football manager. Like, I don't think there's loads of ability difference between them. It's about the principle of the fact that Dan Ferguson didn't deserve to be sacking. He didn't deserve to be treated as some of the fans treated him. Not saying all fans who just called for him to be sacked. I'm saying the ones who specifically were shouting sacked in the morning, stuff like that. I think it was just out of order. And that's sort of my sort of more sort of principled view, or in my mind, principled view on the whole thing. And like, I just don't think it was right. So yeah, we'll finish 17th, 18th either way, in my opinion.
Right, wicked. Thank you, Levi. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I assume you've probably got an early alarm for 4 a.m. to watch the cricket.
Like that. I'm going to the pub.
Well, thank you for joining us, and hopefully we haven't ruined your Friday night.
You haven't at all. It's good to speak to you.
Thanks, Leroy.
Thank you. Bye.
Gosh, the man is the arbiter of doom, isn't he? Thinking
People thought we were negative.
Yeah, crikey. We've got off scot-free. Right, let's talk. Let's be positive now. John, we'll talk about the game tomorrow after we've had our next guests on, who have waited very patiently listening to us ramble about Fergie and Luke Williams. I'm going to bring Abby and Emily in now, and they're going to tell us. Good evening, ladies. How are you both?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So, do you want to introduce yourselves to everybody that's watching or listening, and tell us what you do at Posh?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Emily, and I'm the community manager for the foundation. So that's obviously the charitable arm of the football club. So every professional football club has one, and obviously that's what we are for Posh. So I kind of oversee all of our like community programs where we kind of reach all different kinds of people across the city. Then I'll let Abby explain what she does.
Yeah, so I'm Abby, and I'm a health and wellbeing apprentice. I've only been at the foundation for about 7 months now, but I do a lot of the delivery side of it, and also helping, Emily and our other colleagues kind of plan different sessions and all stuff like that. But yeah, I'm mainly delivery. So yeah.
Cool. So this weekend is probably, I would say, for me, one of the biggest weekends that I've seen from you guys, the foundation. Obviously, you've got a big event, do you want to call it, or like engage an activation? Probably is the right word to use, isn't it? Do you want to explain what's happening tomorrow at the ground?
Yeah, of course. So I think the best way of calling it is like an event. So we've done the FA Cup game against Barnsley as a dedicated game for Alzheimer's Society. So I'll let kind of Abby go into it a little bit more, because she was the one that kind of wanted to set this whole thing up. And I was just kind of the one that had to make it happen. But obviously we got inspiration of what England and Wales did at Wembley, and one of their games a couple of months ago, where they had people living with dementia, like walking out with the players and that kind of thing. So I think we just took inspiration from that. And Alzheimer's Society is a charity that we work really closely with anyway as a foundation. And obviously we see the great work they do. And obviously within my role and Abby's role, we support people living with dementia and carers of those that are living with dementia. So it's just something we really wanted to set up and make happen, because especially a lot of the people that we do work with that are living with dementia are Posh fans. So we just wanted to make like a special kind of experience for them. But I'll let Abby kind of explain what's exactly happening.
Yeah, so basically we have a session at the Dementia Resource Centre in Peterborough. Every Friday, it's a chair-based exercise session for people that are living with dementia. And obviously after seeing the whole like England and Wales thing, I really, really wanted to do it for the people that attend that session. So basically we've got 5 people, and they'll be walking out as mascots with the team tomorrow. They'll also have a mascot experience before the game starts. So that'll be like meeting the players, meeting the management team, hopefully, and looking around the changing room and stuff. Barnsley and Posh will be warming up in Alzheimer's Society t-shirts, and the management team will be wearing Alzheimer's Society badges as well. So Barnsley have been really, really supportive of the idea, which is really, really nice for us. So yeah.
So will there be, normally when there's these charity events, will there be like the bucket collections? Not many people carry cash. I assume that they'll probably have contactless machines on them now as well.
Yeah, so I think round the ground, like in the club shop, in reception for those that kind of go for hospitality, but mainly in the club shop, we've put like collection points. And then in the programme as well, there's also like a little bit of information about the Dementia Resource Centre, because it's such an important thing that people still don't know about. And Peterborough is one of the only cities in the country that actually has one. So we are quite lucky in that sense. So yeah, just kind of providing information about dementia itself. And obviously we do have those like donation points, and we've got a Just Giving page as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not just talk about tomorrow as well. Let's shout out the foundation. I'm not going to ask you to reel off everything, but the foundation is broader than just one day, isn't it? So use this to shout out everything that the foundation does that can
Yeah.
help the Peterborough in the local community.
I think we literally try and work with as many people as possible, and obviously we know that that's not always going to be possible to do, but we literally work from ages 2 years old to 102 years old. So we run things from like sensory groups for children with sensory needs every Friday, which is at the training ground. So we try and make these sessions as accessible as possible for people, and also try and make them free where possible. And being a charity, we do rely on funding and donations and that kind of thing. So I think people often see the foundation and think, oh, you must get money from the football club, whereas we are actually just a registered charity. So we do heavily rely on those funding grants and that kind of thing. And then obviously we also do a lot of work with like people age, I don't know, Kicks is what, year 7 to year 11.
Yeah.
So we run those sessions on like Friday evenings and times where children would sometimes maybe be in the streets, like causing trouble. So we put those football sessions on for them to come to try and take that trouble off the streets and give them something else to do. Because what we found is a lot of the people that are causing like antisocial behaviour is because they're bored and they don't have anything better to do. So we put those sessions on just to try and like keep them away. And we also hold like educational workshops during them and stuff like that. So yeah, we work with older people, obviously, like we've mentioned. We go into care homes. Like the spec is just so broad. That's why it's such a great job, because we really do like just try and help everyone.
Am I right in saying that the Posh payments will now be donating money to you guys when they get businesses to sign up? Is that the right thing? Or have I just made that up?
I don't know. I mean, it would be lovely.
I'm sure that I've read something. Maybe it might be the academy, it might be the foundation. I can't remember which one it is, but I'm sure that Posh Payments. I may have just dropped myself in it. Maybe Posh Payments will start donating to the foundation after this.
Actually.
Yeah,
exactly that. And I know that on the back of
go for it.
I know on the back of donations, John has got a question to ask you, so I'm going to let John in now.
Yeah, Ash, you were doing such a good job that I've sat quietly and listened and learned. If any of our listeners do want to donate tonight and feel inspired by what you do, how do they do that?
So obviously, if they want to donate to the Alzheimer's Society, then that's through the Posh Foundation social medias. You'll be able to find the links to the Just Giving. But if you're talking about the foundation itself, then you can just go on the website, which you go through the club's main website, so theposh.com, and then there's a section for the foundation that says donate here.
Wicked. I assume you guys, I'm not going to put you in the position where we ask you to talk Posh and talk football.
No, it's fine.
It's all right.
We can to an extent.
Of course. I'm only expecting positivity. Shall we talk about, let's talk about just the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you both want to see from, other than having a good day all the way up until kickoff, what would be a good day for the foundation in terms of the FA Cup? Because I assume that there's a chance that you do it again if there's a third round tie.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, not even just necessarily in an FA Cup game. So we're actually the first football club to ever do this, which is brilliant. Obviously, the only other clubs that have done it obviously aren't like football league clubs. They've been international clubs. So yeah, I mean, obviously a win would be great, because then that means more games, so more opportunities to do different kind of awareness games like what we've done for tomorrow. Maybe not even necessarily for dementia. It could be for a different kind of cause or charity, but yeah, a win would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
On the back of that, can we have a score prediction and first scorer?
Yeah, I think we said 2-1 to Posh,
and then Kyrell
Lisby, first goal.
Yeah,
nice. I have also gone 2-1. Although
have you?
Harry Leonard, as I do every week, first goal.
There we go. We're being optimistic,
yeah.
I think. It's okay. As long as it's a good day for the people living with dementia, that's our main priority.
Yeah.
But a win would be positive.
Yeah, that'd be a little extra.
Definitely.
Although I'm just listening to the rain. It's absolutely bucketing.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Tomorrow,
I know. We have like said, you need to wrap up. You need to wear loads of layers.
Yeah.
And, like we've got t-shirts, and I think we're gonna have to put them over a coat at this point.
We did size up so we could put them over a coat. So
yeah,
we're prepared.
Sounds like a good idea. So just before you guys go, can you drop what the socials are, if you can remember, all the @s, like your Insta and your Twitter? I'm assuming it's relatively simple.
Yeah, they're all the same. So it's literally just @the Posh Foundation.
Cool. And then everybody can check out.
Yeah,
Yep.
check out everything we do. So we have Facebook, Instagram, X, and also TikTok, I think.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah. And just for anyone that's listening, if you can give like a really warm welcome to the people living with dementia when they walk on the pitch, it would mean the world to
Yeah,
them.
it would
So,
be really nice.
There's a question for you that's come in that says, have the girls email TNT and BBC to outline the good work and to get the shirts message out on TV? Is that something that you guys can do in the morning quickly, maybe?
yeah, so it is something that we thought about doing, and I think we were literally going to send an email this evening about that. So we've also kind of contacted like the local, like Peterborough Telegraph, that kind of thing as well. So we just really want to spread the message, just more so about spreading awareness about dementia and Alzheimer's. So yeah, no, definitely we'll do that. Thank you.
And some praise from Fleetwood Zach. Zach is very active in the comments tonight. He says
He is active.
A credit to the club and that he loves the work the foundation does. Excellent effort all around. I know that Zach was trying to do a fundraiser of some capacity, but Clive said that he wasn't allowed to run around the pitch or something like that, and he sent a nasty email to him.
Oh
But
no.
that's not for you two to worry about. That's just
No.
me taking any possible dig that I can. But thank you girls for joining us, and I assume you'll
No,
be at the
thank
game
you.
tomorrow, won't you? So we'll be able to.
Yeah, we'll be
Everyone
there.
that's there will be able to say hello to you if they see your faces around the ground. Are you going to be in the fan zone at all before the game, or?
No, because we're actually staying with the people living with dementia the whole time, so we'll be walking out on the pitch with them as well. So you'll see us.
So everybody can give you a wave then when you.
Yeah.
when you go on the pitch.
Yeah.
What, 6,000 tomorrow maybe? FA
Yeah.
Cup special.
I think they said that Barnsley have sold like 500 or something like that, but yeah.
Well, that's
It'll be
more
fun.
Barnsley fans than wanted to come on Countdown to Kickoff
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
It's okay
But-
because you were blessed with us.
Yeah,
so.
we're here,
Uh,
so it's fine.
what a fantastic replacement. 2 for the price of 1. And do you know what? We've actually now gone. This is a momentous day for Up The Poshcast. We've gone back-to-back pairings joining us. And if I might be right, I might be wrong. You two are actually both the first females that have joined us on Up The Poshcast. So
Wow.
this is a momentous day for Up The Poshcast. So
Love that for you.
Yeah,
maybe
brilliant.
in the future you'll have to come back on when you have more of these events.
We'd love
Definitely.
to,
No, we
yeah.
really appreciate you guys letting us come on as
Yeah,
well.
thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks. See you
Thanks.
later.
Speak to you
Bye.
soon.
Good luck tomorrow.
Bye. Thank you.
Right, John. Let's talk tomorrow.
Let's. What do you want to talk about?
What I want to talk about is I want to talk about what changes you're going to make from Tuesday night compared to, because I've got an edgy one. I'm going to start at the back. I think Bass in goal is obvious.
Yeah.
I think that there's a chance that we see David Cagway and we also see Tom Lees tomorrow as the back 2. I don't think that we see Tom O'Connor tomorrow. I think he needs a rest. Do you agree with that?
The only problem is if you play Leeds tomorrow, we've got Reading, which in my opinion is the more important game. Does Leeds get through 2 games in 4 days? That's my concern with playing Leeds.
What about a 60-30 between the two of them?
Yeah, I could be sold on a 60-30. Give Tom O'Connor a little bit of a break. I could be sold
and
on
then
that, I think.
and then give Dave another 90, because I don't think he was bad on Tuesday.
Dave
It's
probably
always
deserves to start again. He was better than O'Connor, I thought, Tuesday night.
Yeah, and I just, like I mentioned when we were in the car, I just think that he offers something that Lees and O'Connor don't have between them, and that's that natural recovery pace when we're maybe a little bit exposed on the sort of football. I'm just looking over because Imogen's fallen asleep. That's one thing that I didn't say. She's not been very well, and she's got a wobbly tooth, so she's totally crashed out. So we may have to cut this short if she does wake up. But yeah, what next?
James, are we playing Donnelly?
I don't know. This is a difficult one. Do I want to? I would still like to see Harley Mills start, but I'm very concerned about the burnout over the next month. Let's just say month, because in a month's time we'll have played Lincoln, won't we? And I'm concerned about that burnout for him. We don't know when Mendy's going to be back fit. Does Luke Williams want to play Mendy potentially? I'm not sure. Obviously, Adebisi's. Let's just say that Adebisi's done for the season. We're not seeing him again, are we?
No.
My concern is that. Go on, you go.
I think I would play Donnelly. Just he needs a game. He's barely played, and the last time we saw him, I think he got a hat trick of assists against Aston Villa. Was that his last appearance? I can't remember him playing since.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I would probably play Carl Johnston at left back as well. So we can then freshen up both fullbacks on Tuesday night, which the fullback position is quite important under Williams because they do overlap a lot. Certainly Kioso down the right. That gives Kioso a full week off, and it gives Mills just a bit of time off. He can't play every game. It's not a drop because I think he necessarily deserves to be dropped or out of form or anything like that. It's purely on the basis that I would like to see us freshen it up a little bit. And Carl Johnston also played well Tuesday night, so he probably deserves to keep his place as much as anyone else.
Yeah, Zach's just said in the comments that Dornelli did actually play against Crawley, didn't he? So that was his last game. So, yes. But I'm pretty sure that outside of that, he's just played the Virtue games, hasn't he? So let's think about the midfield. We obviously said, I think we said when we recorded our episode in the car, is that we said that we felt that Donny was maybe a little bit hard done by to not get a start in the Virtue. Do you think that there's a chance that he comes in tomorrow for a start so that we can keep that freshness going?
I would definitely start Keller in centre mid, and I think I would start Donny as well. Woods is the one that I would be resting without a doubt. And then I don't mind if Donny goes and plays a little bit deeper in for Collins or plays more advanced for Garbutt. I think, again, I would like us to win it, but the Reading game is my priority. And if we can get a bit of rest into the players, I'm all for it. Like, I don't want us to throw it away. Like, I still want us to play a strong-ish team, or at least as strongest as we can on the bench. But ultimately, we've got bigger fish to fry in the FA Cup at this point. We are struggling badly, and that Reading game, basically, the mood changes, doesn't it? If we win tomorrow and then lose at Reading, the impact on the mood isn't that. It's in the doldrums again. If we lose tomorrow but then win at Reading, I think there'll be a lot more positivity that way than the other way. It's just the bigger game. So for me, that takes precedent. And we've got so many games coming up.
Well, yeah, you're right, aren't you? What would I rather go into the Cobblers game off the back of a loss or a win against Reading? Well, I'd rather the win. So if that means sacrificing a result tomorrow to make sure that we're fresh for Tuesday to take that positivity into next weekend, it's a no-brainer. The only other players that my concern is that we don't know what condition Frith's in. We're told that he was okay. He's got to play, doesn't he? Is that then you've then got to play Lisby, obviously.
I don't know if Frith can play, Ash. The way he walked off, you saw it as well as I did. The way he walked off. Maybe it was cramp, but even then, the recovery is not a huge amount. Like, I'd be wary of, given that it is injury record, I'd be wary that, that could lead to an injury again because you're just overusing him. I would be saving Frith for the Tuesday night. I'm not against the idea. I mean, Lisby probably has to play, and then who do you want to? I don't want Otto in the team. Have we got any?
This is. The problem is that Changunda's out on loan. We discussed this, didn't we? And said that actually, I think that the only 21s that haven't gone are Bolu, Sykert, and Mendonca. I think that they're the three that are still in the building. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw those on the bench tomorrow. The only other player that I think potentially takes Otto's place is Lolos, but again, like,
could play Garbutt on a wing, Donny in the 10.
Yeah, possibly. Then you're already talking that you've got Collins to bring back onto the pitch. Like, Collins has got to play then, doesn't he? If we're saying that you've got Collins.
I mean, one of Collins is the thing with Collins is he is a pretty reliable player in terms of his fitness. He generally plays 46 games a season and doesn't get injured. Cue him almost definitely getting injured now tomorrow. But in general, he's pretty available, isn't he? So I feel like with Woods, I've noticed a bit of less energy in his game, whereas with Collins, I don't necessarily think that I've noticed any less energy. It was just a downgrade on his performances, I guess. And then you've got the choice up front, haven't you? Whether do you play Lindgren? Do you play Jimmy J? I'd probably go with Jimmy J.
Yeah, I think that we didn't see him at all, did we, on Tuesday night? He wasn't even in the squad. He was
No.
sat at home watching the game on his TV. I think that he's probably the one that comes in, but that still seems kind of harsh on Harry Leonard. Like we discussed, didn't we? We've taken 2 steps back, and how isolated was Leonard Tuesday, sorry. We've got to get people up there, and I don't know whether this is the type of game that Luke Williams maybe tries something different. You've obviously mentioned before, John, we've already played 3 systems, haven't we?
Yeah.
Can we afford to change to a 4th, knowing what we've got in the building? I'm not so sure, but it just feels like it would be nice to see the 2 of them up top together, Leonard and Morgan, so that they can work with each other. We've seen it work well, haven't we? Even when Morgan was playing in the 10, that it did work. So I'm not sure. I think again, it's a difficult job Luke Williams has got, and it's a really difficult sort of position to be in when he wants to play. Levi mentioned it earlier. He wants to play wingers, but we've only got 1.5 wingers. If you're counting Frith as the half and then Lisby, let's not hash over old ground on Abraham Otto. Everybody knows our views on that. I don't think that it would be right. And I can't remember where I saw a comment from somebody on social somewhere that said that actually I don't think that Abraham Otto will be anywhere near the squad tomorrow, because I think that if he plays how he did on Tuesday night, that London Road crowd is going to go absolutely mental at him. And that is not fair on Abraham Otto, regardless of what our opinions are of him. If he puts in another stinking performance like that, it's not fair for him to be exposed to that level of criticism when realistically we don't think he's good enough, and we don't think that it's that he's the right player for the team. But again, we're a whole month away before being able to get any reinforcements in, which that's where I struggle with not seeing Abraham Otto play, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I actually don't think the team selection is that difficult for the important matches, because I think we know roughly what the best team is. I think the difficulty is with Tuesday night, with this game, where you want to make changes, but we've spoken about it before. We don't really have the players for a 4-2-3-1, because all of a sudden we went and recruited for a 3-5-2 on deadline day that we no longer play. We play the system that we played last season, which we weren't going to play this season. So that's where the issues come from. And you can put it down to injuries, but I just think it was a badly put together squad, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that there's no better time to move on to our predictions. You've already said what yours is, but I'm going to pull them up now. And we have unfortunately got another Up the Poshcast first. I've not put it on the graphic because I'm that raging. But Charlie has not submitted a prediction. Now, for those that don't know, a missing prediction is automatically a 10-0 Posh win with Nicholas Bilakapic as the first goal scorer. So that's what Charlie's prediction is. And outside of Max, it is a sea of 2-1s or 1-2. So Max has gone 2-0 Barnsley with Ben Woods scoring first. Lods has gone Posh 1. Oh, no, I said that wrong, actually. Posh 2 for Max, Barnsley 0. Lods has gone Posh 1, Barnsley 2. I have also gone Posh 1, Barnsley 2. And we have both got our first goal scorers as Harry Leonard. Harry has gone Posh 2, Barnsley 1, Harry Leonard as well. John, do you want to go through yours again and just talk about what you're hoping for tomorrow?
Yeah, Posh 2, Barnsley 1, Harry Leonard. I don't even know if Harry Leonard's going to start, but I thought I always pick Leonard because I think he's our most likely goal scorer. I find it a really difficult one to call. One, because I don't know how seriously they'll take it either. I mean, you look at their result in the cup in midweek, I don't even know did they play a rotated team? I think I've heard they did play quite a rotated team. Do they rotate again and just chuck away the cups? It's really hard to predict because we haven't got a Barnsley fan on to talk to us, to tell us what sort of lineup and whether they'll take it seriously. So I'm kind of thinking that we'll want to bounce back, and maybe it's just a bit of the blue tinted specs. I'm not really doing it with any education. It's more just, I think maybe we'll win this one. Law of averages, can't lose them all.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And it was 4 weeks ago that Luke Williams' first game was against Barnsley. And I think that against Cardiff, and he did well in that, didn't he? So
What was
hopefully.
Charlie's excuse for missing this, by the way? Do you know?
Well, this is the great question, isn't it, with Charlie? The student that doesn't work an hour of the week has not managed to get his score prediction in. So we do not know. So maybe that'll have to be another forfeit.
Was he chatting up some girls in Sheffield? Is that where he's been? Has he been on a date?
I don't know.
It's unlikely. It's our Chaz, isn't it? So it's highly unlikely, but you never know.
What would Chaz do with his free time? I don't know. Look,
pantomime season.
It is pantomime season. Yeah,
Charlie
is our.
Is he
Charlie
alive?
is our pantomime villain, isn't he? So maybe he is.
Well, I was thinking more that he was in musical theatre, but he is also a pantomime villain.
Maybe he's getting drunk.
Yeah.
What else have we got to say? Let's go through the chat. Let's go all the way back to the start. Match prediction we've done. Yes, this is a good point. This is a shame. I do love a trip to Oakwell, and so do Peterborough United. We do tend to do quite well there, but it's a home game, and I'm so glad that I don't have to leave at 10 o'clock in the morning to get up to Barnsley. Did it recently with the women, and it was just a rotten drive. And with it belting it down as it is at the moment, I am delighted that I don't have to get up and drive up to Barnsley. What else have we got? Robin has said that he would rather concentrate, or she would rather concentrate on the league, put out all the players who don't get regular go, see if any shine on the day. That's the big decision for Luke Williams, isn't it? Is how seriously does he take the FA Cup? I think that he's, from the interview that we saw from him today, he's the kind of guy that's going to take every game seriously, even more so the fact that we've lost 3 on the bounce. We don't want to lose again. That would then be 4 on the bounce, wouldn't it? And it's sort of the 4 wins on the bounce were fantastic. The 4 losses on the bounce are then not ideal. So Toxify, look, I'm gonna have to be Zach. Maybe you'll have to get in the comments. I think that it's literally just a play on words for Fleetwood Mac, isn't it? That is why Zach calls himself Fleetwood Zach. Who else have we got? Lods thinks that Luke Williams is going to go as strong as possible. I don't even know what our strongest team is anymore. This is the issue. Like, and we talk about like, oh, we're so privileged as Peterborough United. I don't know what our strongest team is at the moment. I think I could probably name 6 players. John, do you reckon you could get 11?
Yeah, I think we pretty much do. There's Bass, Kioso, O'Connor, Lees, Mills, Woods, Collins, Darber's the 10, Lisby, Frith, Leonard.
I'm not having Kioso. I'm not having it.
He's better than Carl Johnston. He's better than him. He's better than Dornelli. Who else? Who are you arguing?
Dornelli's the best. Dornelli's the best crosser at the club. Don't forget. Like, why is he not getting a sniff?
Dornelli's better than Kioso.
I have said for a long time that I do not believe that Kioso is as good as people make out that
That's
he is.
A very politician's answer, Ashley.
I'm saying that if I've said this on a recording, that if you give me the choice between Dornelli and Kioso, I'd play Dornelli.
It's crazy.
Because I would rather us develop our own players than a lone player. I think that Kioso was very much a cheerleader signing that DMAC wanted to get in to get the fans back on side. That's what I see it as, and ultimately it's not come off. That was the reason why he went last summer and got Katongo, because Kioso wasn't available, and everybody thought, oh yeah, let's bring back somebody that was good for us. That's the way that I see it. I don't think that Kioso's that good. I think that I would rather just try it if we're happy to do it / forced to do it with Harley Mills. I'm not afraid to do it with James Dornelli as well. And look, Scotty's in the chat now saying Dornelli hasn't had his chance yet under Williams. I think you're right, Scotty. I think that he deserves a chance.
I'm saying play him tomorrow, but I can't have that Dornelli is currently a better player than Kioso. I think there's a bit of recency bias in there. I know he's not had the 2 best games ever, but he was very, very good for Williams' first couple of matches, and his form has dropped as the team's form has dropped. I still think Kioso is a very good player, especially at League One level. Yeah, And that's nothing to do with me thinking Dornelli's a bad player. I don't. I think Dornelli's a decent prospect, but if you've got the choice between the two of them, I am taking Kioso every day of the week.
Fair enough. I don't think there's anything else for us to discuss, is there? I think we've done all of our things. Please do head over to UpThePoshcast.com and submit your prediction for the Next Level Barbell Club Predictions League. We're in December now. I need to do the table for the Swindon game, although there wasn't a great deal of correct scores or predict. Well, we didn't score, so anybody that thought that we were going to win was wrong. I think that there's probably like 3 or 4 people that have got any points from last game. So maybe I won't do it. Maybe we'll just do an updated table and then you'll see the names. But just to finish on, John, what do you think? You asked Levi the question, didn't you? Is that how late do you think it is before it's too late, if that makes sense?
I don't think we're going down. I pretty much agree with what Levi said. I think we were going down, which is when I made my prediction of where did I say we'd finish? 21st or 22nd? It was one of the two, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And that squad, I actually think that was generous on the squad that we started the season with, because I think we would have finished 24th. Now I think we've got a team that's good enough to stay up, but they do need to start playing a little bit better than they are currently. But I think when we get Hayes back, when we get Frith back to full fitness, hopefully we sign a winger in January, I think there's enough there that we won't be, surely we won't be bottom 4 again. Or not again, but surely we won't be bottom 4.
No, I hope so. I just hope that, I said, didn't I, midweek, that it was Huddersfield, that the players sort of realised, Huddersfield away, that was last season, that they were in a relegation battle. I hope that we have a successful December. I hope that we have a successful January. Us talking negatively on the pod does numbers, but I just want to be positive about Posh. Those 4 games that we had under Williams were so great, weren't they? To like just be happy about watching Peterborough United. I want to talk Posh. I want to be happy when I talk Posh. I want to enjoy talking about good player performances. I don't care what players it is. I just want them to play well. That's all that I ask. I want them to enjoy their football. If they're enjoying their football, it means they're playing well, and we are starting to look good and look like Peterborough United again. I still think that January 1st can't come around soon enough, but we know that we've got to get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out the door before we can even have a chance of bringing players in, which, fingers crossed, our 80-year-old director of football will pick up his phone on
Sunday,
New Year's Day, which is a bank holiday. The 2nd, the 3rd is a Saturday, the 4th is a Sunday. So
we won't be able to get through to anyone for the first 4 days of January.
So our first deal will come on the 5th of January. You heard it here first, because all of the young directors of football that like to wear their shirt and tie on a Monday morning will pick up the phone on 9 o'clock and we'll get the deal done. Fingers crossed, we win tomorrow. I'm going to change my prediction and say that we're going to win 2-0. Scotty has goaded me. I will resubmit, but I don't think that it's going to be Harry Leonard. I think that it's going to be Brandon Keller that scores first. Bring it on. And with that, up the Poshcast.
Up the Poshcast.